Good morning and welcome back to News Channel 6 at 6. I'm your host, Daigle, just like bagel, but with a D.
And I'm Bruce, just like juice, but with a B and an R.
Was that Jews? Speaking of Jews, on Saturday, 706 people by the name of Kyle gathered together in one place. Yes, you guessed it, Kyle, Texas, attempting to break the world record for as many Kyles in one place at one time. Surprisingly, they were not Jewish, and nor did they beat the world record.
However, they did break the world record for the most amount of failures in one place at one time.
Speaking of failure was not an option for our man David Rush out of Idaho, who successfully beat the world record. And what did he do? He snapped 110 pencils in under 1 minute.
That's the most success anyone from Idaho has ever seen since the invention of the potato.
I thought it was potato.
Potato, potato.
Tomato, the same thing. Until next time on News Channel 6 at 6, I am your host, Daigle, just like bagel, but with a D.
And I'm Bruce, just like juice, but with a B and an R. Daniel and Jordan, back to you.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Daniel.
And I'm Jordan.
And we're Daniel and Jordan.
Daniel. They couldn't come up with a name, so they went with their own names. But that's the way our heroes roll, and it's gonna be okay. So sit back and enjoy it. Let's welcome Daniel and Jordan. What had to rhyme? The Daniel and Jordan Show.
Welcome back to the show. The greatest one on the internet, the greatest one you've seen thus far, and the greatest one. Good morning, Jordan.
Good morning, Daniel. How are you today?
I had to re-alliterate the greatest one.
Illiterate.
Is that the right word?
I'm not sure that's the right. Illiterate is something.
No, being illiterate means you can't read.
Right?
Which I am.
That is the right word.
Which I am. But yeah, good morning. What a week it's been.
Wow. My jaw's dropping.
Me too. My pants along with it, but definitely the jaws are down.
I'm masturbating, but my jaw has dropped as well. Yeah, man. So apparently warts and witchcraft is real?
Warts and witches are real, bitches.
It turns out. Dude, so I thought your story was, I'll be honest, just total bullshit when I first heard it. Yeah. And I usually kind of have that feeling about most of your stories. And looking at the comments that we have gotten on the video, it's insane. It is hard to believe that there isn't some truth to it.
Yeah. I mean, now you can just look back on all the stories I've ever told and say, there's possibly a little truth in there.
Don't go that far. Don't go that far.
Yeah. Which is crazy. Witches are crazy. But dude, 800 and how many subscribers now?
Yeah, we're about 850 and counting. I mean, every time I look, it's more. So
it's crazy. I mean, thank you guys. We appreciate it. Thank you for watching and enjoying the show. We're just, it's natural, baby. All this is, we don't write this stuff.
Yeah.
This is real deal.
We're just two best friends from high school.
Yeah.
Years later, making something. And, as you can tell, we've made a lot of stuff for the past several months. And, just, you can't predict anything. It turns out warts and witchcraft is the most popular thing we could talk about.
Yeah. And that was a true story. But do you believe it now? Do you truly believe it?
So, all right. So do I truly believe it? I actually think there might be something to this idea that like the older generations were more connected to nature. Mm-hmm. We come from nature, right? Our DNA. Now, okay, this is like probably so much misinformation. So take that with a grain of salt.
I mean, we come from dirt.
We come from dirt.
That's what it says in the Bible, I think.
I'm starting to believe you. But yeah, maybe there is something that they knew. I mean, obviously they know a lot more than we know now. I mean, all we know is what's on YouTube, what you and I are saying.
Yeah. And that story is now on YouTube.
Yeah, right. So, yeah, I think there is something. So I had a wart, and I think I might have even told this before. I had a wart on my finger when I first met my fiance, Kanie. And I would scratch at it, and I had it for years and all this. And I had picked at it to where it bled at times. And when I met her, she told me to not worry about it. And a common theme in these comments are the person tell you to forget about them or bury something, forget about it. And I've been asking her if she did some sort of witchcraft on me, and she won't tell me. She won't tell me what she did. She has basically confirmed that she did something. I assume she put something in my shampoo and I was just washing my hands with it.
He'll never know.
But so it went away, and I haven't had it since, and I don't know what happened. I haven't had a wart since.
And she won't tell you.
And she won't tell me.
What the hell?
You think there's something there to it?
I think definitely there's something there to it, but is it just strictly mind over matter? Do they want us to believe that, if we know it's fake, then it comes back?
A lot of comments said that too, the mind over matter thing. You know what I think it kind of is? I think that the forgetting about it is you not picking at it, which allows it to, I guess, keep going. And then time heals over the course of time of you not picking at it, maybe. But that sounds like too logical. I kind of
think it moves somewhere else on your body, though? Or do you think it just totally disappears?
Well, I haven't found it yet.
Ask Caney.
There's a couple spots I haven't looked.
Yeah, could you imagine, like, if it just in your sleep, just like, what if our nipples are warts?
Oh, it's a good point. I do have like those little bubbles around the nipple.
I do
You know what I'm
too.
talking about? Yeah, when I get cold.
You know what that is, though? Okay, so Science by Daniel states that the little bumps around your nipples are honestly what the baby grasps onto for breastfeeding.
Oh, so they do have uses. Good. I guess I could have a baby now.
Yeah. It's so funny that we have those bumps.
Yeah, exactly. That's
those bumps are just strictly for women.
I don't think.
Although I did have a dog one time and I tried to breastfeed it.
You with your nipple in its mouth?
Mm-hmm.
And you tried, so what happened?
He sucked on it.
He did suck on it?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Nothing came out.
I've never seen a dog suck something, though. I've only seen it lick things.
My cat's done it, too.
Your nipples?
Yeah.
What do you...
When Zeus was younger, he nursed on me.
Your cat's only like 9 months old, so how...
He's still nursing on me. Oh, my goodness.
But really, it sucked on your nipple? Like, it actually, like I'm talking about, like, the movement of, like...
Yeah, yeah, he sucked on it.
Okay.
There's only one way to suck on something, and Zeus did that.
He didn't get any nutrients, I assume.
No.
Because you don't have
well,
milk.
Unless a piece of hair follicle came off. There's got to be some kind of nutrients in hair. Clearly.
Well, yeah, cats eat hair.
Covered in nutrients.
Well, I believe you now, so I believe anything you say, D.
So, what do you think there's a real thing with warlocks? Like, what is a warlock? What is your definition of a warlock?
I thought a warlock was just a male witch.
I thought it was fake. I thought a warlock was just something on Harry Potter.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure that's where but they call witches.
Oh, so
female.
witches is a female.
Like a female, magical female.
And a warlock is a man witch.
It's a man witch.
That makes sense. Like a wizard.
Similar to the Sloppy Joes, man witch.
Man. We are totally mind blown by the comments because not just my stories there's 1,000 different ones on there. What's the craziest one you saw so far?
The craziest one?
Like weirdest.
Because to me, the biggest thing that stands out is just how many are so similar. Mm-hmm. Appalachia, it seems to be a thing. Everyone in the Appalachian area, right? And if you don't know, that's like the Appalachian Mountains that I guess like run through like Tennessee and West Virginia and eastern Kentucky.
Is that how you pronounce it? I thought it was pronounced Appalachian.
Appalachian. You probably can say both, right? They'll correct us regardless. Yeah. A lot of people talk about potatoes being rubbed on it. There's witches who buy your warts, so they give you a quarter for your wart, and they say forget about it and it's mine. And some people say that these witches collect them, like they get them. Someone said that a witch wears earrings with warts,
like dangled warts.
Dangled warts.
Can we Google that and pop that up if that's a real thing? So you're telling me a witch walks around buying warts off of just random people, and then they appear on them?
Yeah.
Well, the craziest story I saw on there was the peeing on someone's like, does it involve pee in a dandelion? I'm like, what kind of weird movie are you watching? No one's pissed on anything, okay?
I saw someone say they took like the dandelion stem and then the person busted open and poured the white juice all over it.
Oh, man.
I told him there's got to be a better choice of words.
Oh, yeah, I remember it. And it's real like...
it's like milky?
Yeah, sticky.
Yeah.
Slimy, stretchy, dandelion juice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and people say that I guess what it seems like is you want to dry it out, so you suffocate it.
Yeah, I've seen a duct tape, putting duct tape on
that was
it.
a common one too. Yeah, a lot of people talking about duct tape.
I tell you what, that is crazy stories.
Get you a witch.
Get you a witch. Or if you got a wart, get you a witch.
Yeah, or a warlock.
Or a warlock, because those work too.
Because we're not sexist.
Anything else throughout the week that you've been up to?
See here, the other day I took a dump, and I realized that every single time I take a dump now, I have to clean the toilet with the scrubber.
My wife has that same problem.
I mean, it's everywhere.
Is it mushy?
No. I told you, I've been taking very healthy poops. They're massive.
I don't know if massive makes them healthy or not, especially if you're bleeding afterwards.
They're well-nourished poops, buddy.
They're sucking the life out of you. I mean, damn. Leave some for my man.
That's how I've lost so much weight.
Yeah, your shit is just absorbing every ounce of nutrition. I mean, they're beefy as fuck.
It's taking all the complexion out of me and everything.
Well, keep it up. That's a good diet.
What about you? Anything interesting?
I mean, my poops are just struggling.
About your week.
Oh. About my week, no, not really. I found out my wife has severe body odor, but I've known this for a long time. She stinks. Severe. She stinks. I mean, I love her to death. She's beautiful, and she smells good half the day. The other half, it's bad.
Yeah, does she not put enough deodorant on?
I just think she just stinks. Like she's dying on the inside. She wears good deodorant. She wears Vans deodorant. She can't wear women's.
Did she smell like this before she had Leighton?
Yeah, she smelled like this. Her mom told me she smelled like this for a long time. Prior to our marriage.
Well, that's good news, I guess.
I just wish I would have knew about it prior. No, I'm just kidding. I'm totally kidding. But yeah, so I was outside. I redid some landscaping stuff around my air unit, soaked in sweat. And everybody knows I have a problem sweating.
Yeah. At this point, we all know.
I mean, I'm a little dry today, maybe because I'm not thinking about it.
Well, you've turned on a fan over here in the corner as well today.
That is true. It feels pretty, it's nice. But I'm outside, I'm soaked, I'm drenched, and I'm thinking, man, I'm probably raunchy. Well, I come in, I dry off. My sweaty shirt dries off, right? And then I do what anybody would do, and I just lift up the old armpit and take a little quick smell, and I'm like, man, surprisingly, that smells just like my Gillette deodorant. Still, there was no smell. None.
No, people don't do that, Dan. I don't do that.
You don't ever do a sniff?
I don't smell my sniff. My pits? No, absolutely not. My balls. But my pits, no.
Well, you should try it sometime. You get a little enjoyment of it. Especially if it has a little stench.
Did you just go there when you thought that?
Yeah.
You get a little enjoyment out of it.
Potentially. But then, so I smelled, there's nothing. And then Whitney farts. She's got terrible gas. God. Terrible gas, terrible smell.
You picked a winner.
Yeah. God love her. But in between that, I'm thinking to myself, damn, you stink. And then I get to thinking, yeah, you fucking stink. Not only does your fart smell terrible, your armpits smell terrible.
Yeah, she probably smells worse than you, huh?
Oh, by far.
By far.
By a long shot.
Your kids stink?
Do my kids stink?
Yeah.
Only when Leighton poops.
Just when the poop though?
Yeah.
No body odor? I guess, but body odor doesn't start till you hit puberty, right?
Yeah. But does it ever go away after puberty? Probably not.
I mean, I don't know. What does your armpit hair do?
That's a great question. Whatever it does, women are missing out, or at least a majority of them.
That's a good, yeah, because they've been trimming it.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Maybe
I'll do some research.
Yeah. What's the point?
What's the point of hair?
Whoever put it there for a reason.
Yeah.
Whether that's Buddha, Jesus.
Do you trim yours?
Poseidon.
You ever just let it grow out to where you can see
it? Oh, no, I
your
trim
arms?
it.
Yeah, yeah. You got to trim it out. Yeah.
Because, you got to be careful. If you trim it too short, it itches real bad. Real bad.
Yeah.
But anyways, going back to my stinky wife. So I come in, she farts. I'm like, oh my God. And it just brings back trauma of her armpits. And I was like, honey, we're in the middle of filming. I'm like, honey, I'm sorry. You are a stinky person. I love you. She's like, her jaws dropped, just like how we, were with the 800 subscribers. So and she's shaking a little bit. I don't know if she's pissed or if she's just shocked at this point. She's like, and then she's like, what do you mean? I'm like, your armpits, they just stink. It smells like you're dying on the inside.
Oh.
Not only does her fart stink, her armpit stinks, but I love her to death.
Oh, you love her to death? Mm-hmm. That probably cut her deep, buddy.
Probably. But she's used to it, you know? She's used to it. But that's about it. Just doing some landscaping around here and, you know, working on what we talked about last week. What was it? Bitch moaning.
Yeah.
Whining.
I noticed this week that Kanie has been very patient with me.
That's good.
Yeah. And I think it's because she, now she see that we've have a semi-successful video. She's thinking, she knows how I am, that once the boat starts a-rocking, I'm going overboard. And I need it to be nice and steady so that I don't go insane. Yeah. So she has been able to put up with me losing my mind a little bit because we've been busy working so much that, my mind.
Do you think her mind's just been busy too? Because didn't she start back finals or whatever? Or
school, which she put off a lot of that work. It started on Monday, and she just been playing Harry Potter. Speaking of witches, she's just been playing Harry Potter.
She's had that issue in the past, pushing stuff off.
Oh yeah. She's got definitely an issue with procrastination. She has she has a monitor sitting up on a TV tray right up next to the bed, playing Harry Potter every night.
Really?
Yeah, that's what I go to bed to.
What does she play on?
PlayStation.
That's 5. Funny. That's cool.
Yeah, she loves it.
Is it the newest Harry Potter?
Mm-hmm. Harry Potter Legacy. She's
heard a lot of good stuff about it.
Yeah, she's been waiting for her letter from Hogwarts.
She's potentially a witch now.
Yeah, and
she
that on
removed a
top
wart.
I just keep drawing connections. I'm a lucky man.
You in that face.
She put a spell on me.
I put a spell on you.
Because you're mine.
That is actually a really good song.
It is a good song.
Well, now we come to the point, the moment you've been waiting for, the moment I've been waiting for. And it's just something that just refreshes me every week, every Sunday when we film, and probably, hopefully, every Thursday when you hear it. But I'd love to introduce my best friend, the one with the brains, clearly, not the bronze, Mr. Jordan Hunter, with today's Word of the Week.
I'll have the bronze soon, buddy.
Not until you stop taking shits.
A little less coffee, maybe. This word of the week, the word of the week this week is criticism. And I've noticed this week that, and specifically taking criticism.
Yeah.
So, like, I noticed that I have a really hard time taking criticism, and I'm not sure if that's from I had a group of friends that we were very critical people, and that was fun in my 20s. But as I got older, I think I've realized that it actually has made me very difficult at hearing people's criticisms and shrugging it off and being like, I've got my reasons for this. You don't understand. And I think that it's to an unhealthy level. And I am trying now I get that immediate reaction of just like trying to shove off of that opinion away. Kanie specifically.
Yeah.
Because, I've made a couple of videos, and we specifically have one we made where she'll give me an opinion on it. And now I will say I kind of wish she would deliver the news in a better way.
Maybe a peaceful way.
A little softer.
Yeah.
But I definitely immediately snap almost. It's like a reactionary thing. It sucks because it happens so quick. It's hard to be mindful of because it happens really fast, and then I'm mindful and I have to apologize basically for snapping. But yeah, what can I do to take criticism better, you think?
I'm glad you asked, because what better man to ask? I've dealt with criticism and feedback a long time, and it took a long time to understand why it's there and why people do it. So, as you guys know, I worked for Wendy's for many years. I hated feedback, especially from my boss, who was my mom for the longest time.
Oof.
It was sucked. Feedback from your parents are the worst, right? Especially when you're younger. Yeah, and especially when they're worse. So at some point, I was like, okay, I got to get the hell out of Mom's store. I'm going to the mall to work, which was great because all the hotties were there.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. But long story short, I had to figure out why people give us feedback, and it's really just for our own growth. And sometimes it's good feedback, right? Sometimes it's bad feedback. What we don't like to hear is the bad feedback,
right?
Or the things that we don't want to hear. But
Well, there's a lot of bad feedback, though. Or like, when I say bad, I don't mean like negative. I mean like people give you criticisms that aren't necessarily true. They're from their own mind. It's their vision of how it should be. And so you have to have some sort of filter where it's like you have to trust yourself over that person's criticism.
Yeah.
And I think I developed that too much to where now
you're trusting yourself too much. That, rather than listening to that other person.
Exactly.
So I would suggest maybe being mindful of their opinion, because it's just an opinion at the end of the day. But you have to understand with yourself, like, hey, does this make sense? And maybe open your mind, be more mindful of their opinion, maybe.
Not be as reactionary.
Yeah.
Like actually like take a step back, listen to it, and then make my opinion, as opposed to immediately like, oh, you're criticizing me.
Yeah. Yeah. And maybe you're just working yourself up about it too, just because, I mean, they're just telling you what they think, you know what I mean? And it's really our reaction, just like we talked about last week with whining, you know, it's just a reaction. And I felt like it's helped me to understand, like, hey, maybe this person's trying to help. But like you said, some people could just be giving you that feedback or criticism, and they might not know what they're talking about.
Yeah. But at the very least, I should, with Kanye, it's like I should know that she's a trustworthy person. She's giving me what she truly thinks will help.
Yeah.
She's not trying to control our content.
Right.
Even as much as she would probably like to.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think maybe it's who the messenger is.
Yeah, I think that has a lot to do with it. You know, what kind of role they play in. I mean, people that were criticizing me or giving me feedback from Wendy's was the owner.
Right.
He's the owner for a reason. Maybe he knows what he's talking about.
Maybe.
You know, and then my pride was an issue for a lot of it. It's like, ooh, what is he or what is she to tell me that's right or wrong?
Yeah.
So your pride has a ton to do with it. So maybe just put down your little pride ball.
Maybe
Because
it is
that
a pride thing.
Pride is so powerful and strong, and it gets in the way of so much. It stops us from saying sorry whenever we're in the wrong.
Yeah.
It stops us from admitting we're wrong. Pride is just, it could be a really good thing, or it could be a really thing that kind of hinders you. And so maybe we're just so prideful on what we do or how we do it, and these people just don't know what they're talking about because we have more pride in it. So maybe instead of putting a pride brick wall up, we just put a pride drywall up, something that could be knocked down every so often.
That's it. Yeah, that's really good. That's really good insight, Daniel. Connecting those two, it's like the other flip side of a coin or something like that. It's like I'm so focused on the criticism that I'm not seeing what it is that's making me react. And it probably is my pride over I made this,
for sure.
so I'm proud of it. And then when someone comes up and looks at it and thinks, it's not that good.
Yeah.
It's like, well, I just spent a couple hours wasting my time, I guess.
Right. Yeah. Fuck it. Delete.
Are you happy?
Yeah. Do you like it now? It's a blank screen. But yeah, the pride, dude, is just so. I mean, who wants to admit that they're wrong or this idea sucks or that's a terrible idea? Nobody, right? Because we come up with it, we created it, and I feel like pride has a lot to do with it, and something that we care so much about. You know, we're just prideful.
Yeah, which is funny because like. I think of myself as being able to tap into being humble, but I feel like I'm actually only really good at being humble about things I'm bad at. But if I'm good at something and I have that pride attached to it, suddenly my humbleness is not quite there as much as I thought it should be.
Yeah, it's true.
And maybe that is what it is. I do pride myself on some of my editing, which
is fucking good.
Apparently not to everyone, but I pride myself on it, and I think that is. It's like, I did this. You couldn't do it.
Right.
Well, who are you to tell me?
Yeah.
And I'd heard once someone say like, and this is good advice and horrible advice for what we're talking about, but to only take advice from people who are where you want to be. And that is good. There's a sense of that's good. But I also think that, especially at what we do, me listening to criticisms definitely, I mean, it would help us step our game up even more to relate to everyone, you know.
Yeah, it could be a good and a bad thing. I definitely see that.
Balance.
You have to be cautious on who you take criticism from. If you getting criticism for someone who knows nothing about what you're doing. But what is the main message? Maybe they don't know anything. Okay, so for example, I'm working at Wendy's and I'm talking to a customer this way. They never worked at Wendy's before. Who are they to tell me what to do? But what is this person? This person could be a professional public speaker. You know what I mean? Like, so have you ever worked at Wendy's? No. Okay, well then shut the hell up and let me do my thing. Let me talk to these people how I want to talk about. Hello, ma'am. Hello, sir. Nice to meet you. But this person could be a massive figure in public speaking. He's just trying to give me some advice. You know what I mean? So what is her overall message? She may know nothing about editing, but she may know a little something about common sense.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
She at least knows what it's like more like to be the audience member than I do, which is a key point of view for us to be putting our heads in. And it's sometimes impossible for us to put our heads in the audience because we are the creators.
Yeah.
And
that's why you have to just kind of wait, see what captures your audience, right? And when you're first starting social media, it's hard because you're creating things that you like. And obviously there's not one person is exactly like you, but there's many people out there who enjoy some of the things that you enjoy.
Right.
You know, that's why we become best friends with people, right? Because we're so alike.
Right.
So I don't even know where I was going with this story, but, social media. So creating that content. Ooh. My stories get the best of me sometimes, but creating that stuff, it's hard to do what you think people like. So create the content. The content finds the people eventually because there's other people out there that are kind of like us. And then we just lean into that. Like, okay, it's that. Let's continue.
Yeah. And making sure our message is clear to where and I talk about this with music with people all the time, is saying, how do you translate it? Make sure it's good translation. If your message isn't well translated, even if there's amazing genius stuff in it, if the people can't understand what you're saying, then you're not gonna make a connection with anyone.
Right.
You've got some great knowledge that I guess you just keep to yourself because you
Kind of
can't.
like my stories.
Yeah. It's like when people use big words around me and you.
Yeah.
It's like message not received, buddy.
Yeah. My when my face does this, yeah, I'm lost. Or
Like
sometimes I just
ago.
do this. Just to smile and okay, cool.
How often do you do that? I found myself there's a period in my life where I would just agree with everything and heard everything and knew everything. You know, like when people are like, you ever heard that song? And you're like, yeah, I know that song.
You don't know it.
You don't know that song at all.
You think it's because people just do it because like you're just carrying a conversation?
I just want it to be over with, typically.
Well, good luck.
Let's
keep
this
agreeing.
moving.
They're going to be like, okay, so you'll know what I'm talking about here. You know?
Yeah, it ends up with me looking like an idiot.
I do it so well though that I fool Whitney and the kids. People will come up to me that I guess knew in the past years or so, full conversations like, oh, what's up, man? I don't even remember this person.
Dang, I wish I had that.
Don't remember their face, but I could fake it so well. I'm like, all right, we'll talk soon. See you, buddy. Good seeing you.
Do you feel confident that you're selling it really well?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, see, I think I can do it a little bit, but I'm so like, this person sees all through this that I have no idea who they are.
But I'm just waiting for that jackass who really doesn't know me and is filming a YouTube video or a TikTok, and he's coming up and he's like, Daryl, and I'm like, what's up, man? And then it's all a joke. He knew he didn't know me because there's people out there like that.
It's going to happen now.
Yeah, I just fake it till I make it, baby. I just go with the flow. And Whitney's like, oh, how do you know them? Honey, I could not tell you. I don't remember. She's like, you're joking, right? I'm like, no, I don't remember their name.
That's why you're the star.
I guess.
And that's why I am the background guy.
Yep, you're the twink.
I'm the twink.
And I'm the twonk.
And you're the twonk.
Well, now, man, I'd love to just fill you in on something. I guess it kind of...
Something bothering you?
Yeah, severely.
Oh, no, man.
It has nothing to do with what we're talking about today.
I'm so sorry. Can you tell me? You want to talk about it?
I'd love to. But first, I got to tell you what this makes me want to do.
What, man?
This is something that just makes me want to kick a brick wall. Liu Kang style.
Is that a Street Fighter guy?
That's a Mortal Kombat guy.
Ah, dang it.
Come on.
I'm supposed to be the nerd.
Mortal Kombat. Liu Kang.
Finish him.
He does the bicycle kick.
I didn't want to pretend like I knew. See,
Have you seen the new Mortal Kombat? Well, it's not really new, but it's on Netflix now.
Are you talking about the really old one from the 90s?
No, the new one with like Sub-Zero and
Oh, that's right. I remember
the dude that changed into Scorpion.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so good. It's so good.
The new games are good.
I fell asleep, but I think it's just because of old age.
And the dream was so good.
But anyways, this is just what just pisses me off, makes me want to kick a brick wall like Liu Kang. Or in other words, we like to say,
what twists our nips? What twists your nips, buddy?
Just rude people. Rude people for no reason. Just coming up to me or somebody and just being or watching a video of just rude people for no reason.
Do you have an instance happen?
No.
You were just thinking about rude people.
I was just thinking about rude people. No, what it was is I just obviously scroll on social media and you see these innocent people who are whatever, doing whatever, which, I mean, you probably don't know what they did prior to the video, but there's rude people out there for just nonchalant reason. You know, stores I've went into in the past couple of weeks, just fast food, for example. Jesus Christ.
Workers?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
It's so bad. It's gotten way worse, I feel like, too.
It has,
Like,
hasn't it?
I remember thinking like, hey, you didn't say please. That's rude. Now they don't even speak to you. It's like,
Well, they are severely I have to stick up for the underpaid worker. All right. I think that they don't pay them enough to be polite. I'll say it.
do you think they are keeping them trapped there?
That's right. Trapped.
You think so?
Well, I mean, I think that circumstances put you into having to work
Certain situations.
I worked
Yeah.
food and stuff like that too, but I think that now the amount that it pays is like not even what it was when we just like percentage wise. I don't know how you pay rent on $11 an hour.
Yeah, there's no way. I mean, you have to have two jobs.
Yeah,
Or when I say two jobs, a husband and a wife, or husband and husband, wife and wife, season and
we get
furry,
it, Daniel. You're
you know.
very accepting.
It could be any of those. But you have to have two sorts of incomes nowadays.
Yeah, it feels like that, don't it?
And if not, two sorts of incomes and a side gig.
Yeah.
Whether you're, selling coffee or
Prostitution.
or I'm glad we're on the same page. But yeah,
What is it then? Is it like this generation? Is it because you see younger people working at these places,
Yeah.
or younger people being rude mostly?
Yeah, I think it obviously has to do with, at the end of the day, what I think it is father figures aren't in the households as much as what they were in the 90s.
Parenting.
Obviously. I think so. Or we're just so distracted with the distractions nowadays to where we don't realize the situations, or realizing just parenting is so different because of everything that we have now. Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, social media, the internet, TV. Mm-hmm. Everything's so distracting nowadays to where we can't parent our kids. So
yeah, and
that's what I think
just
it is.
this generation. You can't even ask your parents what to do because they didn't have to deal with it at all.
Yeah.
I think you're exactly right with the distraction thing. It's like you're not mindfully parenting. You're not making real connections with your kids to actually influence them. Mm-hmm. They're making better connections with people online and things like that than they are with their parents.
Yeah.
And the parents are so distracted with their own thing online that they're mindlessly elsewhere. And I guess that's why I support the mindful idea so much, because it is like we have lost our minds a bit and we're just not present.
Yeah.
We're elsewhere all the time, and we're never here with our children or our friends. We're just elsewhere.
Yeah. And I think it's hard too, because especially we try to practice that. We parent here. We don't let Cadence do whatever she wants, or, Eli's in two separate homes. So there's things we do different here than what he's allowed to there. And, so it's just, it's hard in that sense, but, we try to parent the best as we can. And we try to think this generation, like I said, we're fucked.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, honestly, they might
We always were.
They might be smarter, but it's they're dumb at the same time.
I actually think statistically, I heard, Jordan Science, is that since like the 70s, human IQs are dropping.
I wonder why.
I think it probably is like a reliance on technology.
Yeah,
to where like we
can-
don't have to know anything.
Yeah.
Therefore, we don't know how to think. We don't know how to critically think.
That's true. And now AI is taking over Google. Did you see that? It's just some crazy stuff, which
keeps going.
they've been testing it on Meta, the whole AI thing. And now Google, it's like you can tell Google to search for a parrot standing on a watermelon.
Oh, like a picture?
Oh, yeah. Pictures.
Yeah.
The whole AI text thing is gone crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's going to keep going.
And it's wild.
Yeah.
And it works.
And the craziest thing is like it's so cool, and that's what's so distracting, right? It's so cool.
And in emails, you can now type in emails in Gmail and then hit AI, and you can make it sound more professional.
My cousin does this. Yeah.
Do all kinds of stuff. And then I could write a fucking book, which brings me, I think I might do it.
So Daniel's told me right before we got on that he's thinking about writing a book. I told him to save it for the podcast because I would love to talk more in depth about his book. What's the topic?
I'm glad you didn't ask the title because I don't know. Topic, honestly, I would love to do something inspirational and motivational.
Okay.
There's two things, okay? I want to either do like a life story of myself. And,
Like an autobiography.
And the growth process of that and like stuff that's helped me and, could potentially help you. And certain key things that have really made me grow as a human, I think. That would be good. You're looking interested.
No, I think that's
You would
good.
buy it.
I think
Or at least
I
try
got to
to-
know something about you. Something to explain to what's going on here.
I got to know the top 3 things that's made this.
Yes.
But that or taking a children's book and creating, characters like cartoon characters like Adley the alligator or Pete the penguin,
Keep going.
Merle the monkey,
Or
Sarah the Sasquatch. Keep going.
and one more.
All Sarahs are good. Billy the beaver.
Okay.
All these people are going to comment, but like, Sarah the Sasquatch, really?
Someone's going to steal your idea.
Yeah. But create those characters in some form of, like, they're just doing inspirational messages for kids to learn.
Once you combine the two,
Yeah.
and it's like
I'm a character.
you will be Daniel the dolphin.
Bingo!
and it's your life story of things that helped you, and you're just painting like simple messages that kids could understand of things that helped you grow as a person.
Because I really want to inspire the next generation. Honestly, that's what my goal. Like, that's what I'm trying to do with Cadence. Like, I want to, and I'm so passionate about that whole thing anyways, like just talking somebody up and like, you can do this, like put your mind to it. You got this. There's tools out there. If you want to be, the first woman to have so many dunks in a game, the tools are out there. Apply yourself and stay focused. Keep a right head on your shoulders, and you can do it. I feel like kids need to be told that whatever they want to be is achievable. And I got to do that at Oakland Elementary. I thought it was so cool. Although there was a little boy who wanted to be Spider-Man. And I was like, dude, I totally wish I would have picked that. But don't crush these kids' dreams and be like, Spider-Man, that's not a fucking job. You know what, buddy? Is there a movie called Spider-Man? Yeah. If he wants to be an actor and be Spider-Man and fucking web sling to the next building, let him.
Yeah.
If he wants to be Spider-Man, let him figure it out. Maybe push him towards like, hey, oh yeah, you could be Spider. Did you know Spider-Man's really fake? He's an actor. Maybe that'll crush the child's dreams, but it could push him in the right direction.
Yeah, I mean, there's something there. It's
Yeah.
not just total fairy tale. He wants to be someone who protects other people, who has all these powers.
Yeah.
And you can be a powerful person, hopefully a good one, but you can be a person who protects other people who, what's the big saying from Spider-Man? With great power comes great responsibility. Those things are great things for a child to take away and to understand. I mean, for society to have people who understand that power is something that is important for you to hold responsibility with. That's a great message. So there's no reason to crush that.
I heard a story of a guy tell, I know his name, I'm not going to say it, but his nephew or something was talking about in class, the teacher was like, you can be whatever you want to be. And so whenever he asked his nephew, he was like, oh, what y'all been learning in school? And he's like, you know, we could be whatever we want to be. Our teacher told us, he's like, okay, cool. What did you say you wanted to be? He's like, I wanted to be a transformer. Well, this dude flipped shit. He's like, a fucking transformer? You know.
Maybe he wants to be a truck driver.
I'm talking down south, Republican.
Yeah.
High Republican. And just
Right.
crushing
Crushed
these.
it.
Yeah, crushed it.
Yeah, and ultimately, like, reality is going to tap in at some point in someone's life. But it'd probably be just better to focus on what's the good message from this. Yeah, he'll find out that he can't turn into a robot at some point in his life.
Right. But the good message is you can be whatever you want to be.
Yeah, I mean, right. There is, I do believe that if you don't find something that you want to be and then go towards something, then inevitably you'll just be stagnant and sit still and feel hopeless. And that is significantly worse than going after what someone else might consider a fairy tale or a dream. Moving, just going in a direction, they'll change off the course of being a transformer at some point. But if they keep trying to progress into a direction, well, that's movement. We want movement in people's lives. We don't want them stagnant, looking at their phone, feeling helpless, wishing that they were the people on their phones or whatever.
Right.
You want people, especially children, to always be moving, always be learning, always be going into situations that make them uncomfortable, always doing these things that make you grow.
Yeah, I wanted to be a Power Ranger when I was younger. It's morphin' time. What did you want to be?
I want to be a Ninja Turtle.
Hey,
Yeah, I'm kind of close.
you're
Donatello?
pretty close. Yeah. Oh, I was like the turtle shape.
It's just a look. Okay.
The neck's there.
I need to beef up a little bit, I guess.
But yeah,
I look more like Splinter the rat.
Yeah, Ninja Turtles, wrong character, but I could see you as Master Splinter.
You're in the world as a rat or something.
I do want to try to write a book, but it's like, how do you get started? I watched a video with this guy. He was very thorough, and like, you got to have this writer space and a time and a schedule, and schedule how many words you're going to be done with on this day, like to finish this book. And I'm thinking, oh shit, I didn't know it was all this.
Well,
And I'm just
for the start, though, I think for the start, you just start writing your
Brainstorming.
ideas down.
Yeah.
Writing down what you think would be the beginning, going back and editing it.
Yeah.
And seeing what it is. Maybe the first chapter.
yeah.
Write the first chapter, go back, edit it a couple, because that's the thing with writing, apparently.
It's
you
a
have
lot.
to edit. Editing.
Yeah.
Going back and be like, this is useless, take it out. This is useless, take it out.
What if I found somebody who I tell my ideas to and they write it?
A lot of people do that. That
You know?
AI.
Because I can't spell worth of shit.
Dude, why don't you just try to write an AI book at this point?
What if I write an email in Google
To yourself?
to myself and then in the emails, the book, and then I AI that shit?
Yeah. I'd
I'd probably
read
be
it.
bestseller in 2025. Just saying.
By AI robots.
But I do. That is one thing I think I would really, that's probably like one of my goals is
Yeah.
to write a book.
Well, regardless, at
it's
some
getting
point
started.
later in your life might be a great time to start
Yeah,
writing
that's
a book
true.
too.
When I get
you
old,
get more, like even more
knowledgeable.
stories and more knowledge, and then you can really put down
Yeah.
some truth bombs on some people.
Yeah, I feel like the motive is there and the messages are there, but in due time, I think I would be able to paint the picture a little bit better.
It'd be cool. It'd be cool to. What's your cover going to look like? Is it going to be you? Two
Yeah,
thumbs
probably
up?
a super cool photo, like just me sitting on a stump because I'm a
On a stump.
because I'm a trunk.
Oh, because you're a trunk. Okay.
And just sitting there.
Dressed
like
as a
this.
lumberjack man, or like overalls, shirtless.
Should I gaze? Like, and then the title is Daniel's memoir. the life of Daniel.
Daniel's memoir that he doesn't remember.
Nor did he write.
By AI.
I do want to write a book. Either it's maybe both, a children's book and like a life. What are they called? Like autobiography?
Autobiography,
like
about yourself.
about me and social media and the understanding of that, and somehow loop in the inspirational messages, the things that, you know, groomed me and helped me. There's a lot. Maybe it's 2 books.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a freaking sequel.
I think you pinpoint one topic and you hammer home that one topic.
In that book.
And maybe it turns into a series, maybe it doesn't. The number one topic that you think that you know the most about that other people don't know, which I don't know what that would be, but.
And let me ask you this before we close. Should it be a fairy tale book or a real book? Because I could nail the fairy tale.
Like that completely changes everything we've talked about.
That's true.
Fairy tale. I would, I'd prefer the fantasy.
Yeah, you would.
You can put a couple witches in there, huh?
That's right. Witches and warts.
That's the book we should write.
That would be wild. Well, at least we know what to do if this ever fails.
Yep.
But until next time, just remember, I'm Daniel.
And I'm Jordan.
And we're Daniel and Jordan. We'll see you next time.
Latro.
If you got a wart, go get a witch or a wart lock.
You're going to need a doctor for the herpes, though.